Fear into power. Fear into power. Shea, Ellison.
Picture this. I'm in Orlando, Florida for a 4-day weekend seminar that purports to be a life-changing experience. The headline presenter is none other than Tony Robbins. The name of the seminar I signed up for 6 months previously is entitled The Unlimited Power Weekend, Fear into Power, the Firewalk Experience. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. This is going to be an interactive presentation. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you all to stand up, follow my lead, and do as I do. As I walk into the meeting room, along with around 1,200 other participants in an upscale resort hotel in Orlando, Florida, I hear loud, pumping rock and roll music playing. And immediately I think to myself, this is really cool. My energy level rises immediately. I see people dancing in the aisles by their chairs. There's a number of people, about a dozen people, up on stage that seem especially energized. After a few minutes, one of the guys up on stage says that Tony has arrived, but he doesn't like to come out until everybody's really pumped up. So we're going to have to kick it up a couple of notches. And the music gets louder. And you start to hear the people start singing along and start a slow rhythmic clapping. This is the time where you stand up. Come on, everybody, up. Music. A few minutes later, the guy says, Tony Robbins just appears on stage with no fanfare. And after a few minutes, they start speeding up the clapping. Faster and faster and faster. Come on, faster, faster, fast, 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 fast. Whoa! Yes! The energy level in the room comes to a crescendo. All the clapping stops, and everybody just takes in the adrenaline rush. You can be seated now. Tony opens his presentation, giving an overview of this evening and the rest of the weekend. He says that tonight we'll be going to about 2 a.m. and that later this evening we will be doing the Firewalk. As he begins his presentation, he tells us that the focus of our mind becomes our reality. After about an hour or so of his presentation, he has all 1,200 of us follow him out into the parking lot of the hotel, where we see about 10 cords of seasoned firewood all in neat rows. He says that my assistants will now be starting the fires that will produce the coals for our Firewalk later in the evening. But I'm thinking to myself, Tony's really big on metaphors. This is just a metaphor. We don't really do this stuff. Anyway, we head back into the auditorium to begin to learn the strategies of how to control our brain and nervous system. Tony tells us that we'll be learning a strategy that will enable us to walk across these coals in our bare feet, and not only will we not get burned, but we will feel like we are walking on cool moss, our mantra. Again, as I said, the focus of your mind becomes your reality. By putting yourself into a peak physical state, which we do through a process of intense physiology. He states that emotion is created by motion. And so part of the strategy we will be using is intensely clapping and saying yes, 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 yes. And you put yourself through an intense process into a peak physical state, and using our mantra, you can literally perform mind over matter. After another hour or so of his presentation, he has us all go back out to the parking lot again. The sun is now setting. The sky is orange, red, and yellow, quite picturesque. But what really grabs our attention is there are now 10 huge bonfires blowing away in there. It's amazing. I get within about 10 feet or 25 feet of those fires, and I can feel the intense heat. I don't want to get near those things. But there's already a significant amount of red-hot glowing coals at the base of these fires. But I'm still thinking, this is just a metaphor. He's trying to psych us out. So we all head back into the seminar room, again, to continue to learn strategies of how to control our brain and nervous system. He tells us again and reiterates that the focus of our mind becomes our reality. It's around midnight, and he tells everyone it's time to do the Firewalk. He instructs everybody to take off your shoes and socks, put them under your chair, and we'll head back out into the parking lot. We get out there now, and all the fires have all burned down. There's just these big piles of glowing red-hot coals. His assistants are using shovels and metal wheelbarrows to arrange the coals into about 25 3 by 25 foot rows of glowing hot coals between 1,200 and 2,000 degrees. And it's when I smell the heat of the wheelbarrows, that hot coals in there, that it hits me. This is real. This is not a metaphor. We're going to do this. And I'm thinking, here's me, the skydiver and hang glider, saying, this is nuts. I got to find a way out of here. This is crazy. But then I got caught up in the emotion, the excitement, and the energy of everyone there. And I get in line. And before you know it, I'm at the front of the line. And there's two people at the front of each line called state inducers to help you get into that peak state. At the far end of the coals there are three more people, two to catch you when you come across the coals and before you come out of your peak state, and a third person with a garden hose to spray down your feet in case any coals have stuck to your feet. And so they tell me, are you ready? Get into state. Yes, 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 yes. Are you ready? Yes. Cool moss, cool moss, cool moss, cool moss, cool moss. And they grab me here at the end. Oh my. You come out of that peak state into a mind-blowing state of what you just accomplished. And you realize, if I could do this, something I never thought I could imagine I could ever do in my life, imagine what else I could do. And this is just the first night of a four-night weekend seminar. Mr. Contest Master.